Go. Can you hear me now? I'm sure you can hear me now. What's up, everybody? It's your man, Governor Wildstar. I apologize for the technical difficulty, but welcome to the Black Side of Liberty. You can hear me now, right? I can see it says on the screen that I am not muted, so hopefully you can. But I appreciate any and all of you that are tuning in here to the Black Side of Liberty. I will be speaking with a wonderful guest who hopefully will be tuning into the studio here shortly. He hasn't chimed in as of yet. So in the meantime, I'm going to just run down my normal spiel, before he does jump in here. So all of you that are watching, I appreciate you guys for all of the support, for helping me spread the word. If you are on YouTube watching, I appreciate all of you guys for subscribing, because I'm almost at my goal of 30,000 subscribers. Definitely keep sharing the videos and spreading the word and helping me reach that mark right there. That's definitely, like I said, going to help us spread the word out there about what's really going on in our community, inform people about the real facts of what's going on, not only with this coronavirus thing, but with our government, with Black Lives Matter, with this vaccination business, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to do my best to, again, keep you guys informed from the front lines, but I need all of your help and all of your support to make that happen. So please, please, please be sure to subscribe and like and share and all of that good stuff, because all of those numbers help increase my my awareness, and that's what we want to do. Is we want to make sure that more people are becoming aware. So if you haven't jumped on my social media and connect with me yet, please head over to my website, governorwildstar.com. Click on any of those social media icons, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Connect with your boy. I'm almost at 5,000 right there. So please help me reach that number as well on social media. Let's connect. Let's keep each other informed. Send me shit. I'll post it, share it, all that good stuff. And if you are watching this broadcast, please be sure to drop a comment. And let's see, I got my guest with me here also, so we're good to go. But yeah, I just want to wrap things up because he is on a tight time schedule, and I want to be respectful of his time. So please, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, I want to introduce to you Mr. Max Abramson. Hold on, I like it better like that. Isn't that better? What's up, Max? And welcome to the Black Side of Liberty, bro.
Hey, it's good to see you. It's hot as anything up here. It's like 90 degrees and 100% humidity up here in New Hampshire right now.
Hey, I'm
over 90 this afternoon.
I'm from Wisconsin, so I know all about that, my man. So, hey, do whatever you can to keep cool. And like I said, I won't hold you too long, so you won't melt there. But I appreciate you, like I said, being right here on the Black Side of Liberty. My man here again, Max Abramson. I want to introduce you guys to him. I actually came across Max during my campaign for governor. He was running for governor in New Hampshire, I believe, and as a libertarian in our paths cross. And yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the man, but we've been knowing each other for a long time. If you could, Max, just introduce yourself to the people out there and tell them, who is Max Abramson?
Well, I'm a state representative. I had been in the Libertarian Party for about 25 years, and I felt like it was a good political group. I trusted the people, and a lot of people started coming in the last 5 or 6 years who seemed to have a different agenda and were not the respectful people that you want to deal with. So I've left the Libertarian Party, but I haven't left the Liberty movement. Mm-hmm. And I'm still putting in, as a legislator, I'm still putting in legislation for evidence preservation and jury nullification, ending the drug war, decriminalizing marijuana. We've decriminalized marijuana, but it's only really small amounts. We're trying to increase the amount to about a full ounce earlier this session. But there's been a whole lot on our table that we've worked on in New Hampshire. It is the live free or die state, but we do still have a few nanny state laws on the books that we're trying to repeal. I came up with the New Hampshire's Dumbest Law contest, and we put it out there and let kids around the state find, silly and outdated laws. And a couple of years ago, I put in a bill. The contest winner was a real winner. It was you couldn't collect seaweed on the beach at night. And that got in the news, and it was all over the news in New England. And people were like, why is this a law? And no one could really come up with a reason for why that law was on the books. But we tried to repeal it, but they kept it on anyway. I think they like it.
That's actually a wonderful idea. And you know what's crazy is when I was running for mayor of Fresno here, I actually pitched that as an idea as an incentive for people to say, hey, I'll pay people of the public $25, $50, if you go through the books, through these law books, come to us in the city council meetings, let us know which dumbass laws you want to get rid of, like the one you just spoke of.
We had a few other Liberty reps repeal silly, ridiculous rules on, you couldn't take a 1 gallon container of milk and reuse it. It was a misdemeanor. It was 1 year in jail potentially. And it was some old 1906 law that was on the books. It's just a whole long list of them. I tried to repeal a law saying you couldn't hunt with a ferret, but it didn't say you couldn't use a ferret for hunting. What the law says is you couldn't have a ferret in your possession, so you couldn't have it in your truck with you while you're going hunting. And that's another fine. It's some amazing, ridiculous stuff.
Absolutely ridiculous. And what's crazy is, like you said, you live in New Hampshire, which is like live free or die state. And it was, I guess, the epicenter of this free state project where all of these libertarians were supposed to come and move. And since it was a low population state, take it over, legislatively and make it like this libertarian utopia. But we haven't seen that happen. But you do see a lot of, I guess, don't tread on anyone type of Republicans. That's what I see yourself pretty much as, and the Republican governor, which runs the state of New Hampshire, which hasn't proposed any mandate for masks, as you can see. Like
your mask for safety, right? You're wearing a mask for safety, right? There's a picture online. If you guys look at my Facebook page, Max Abramson, there's a kid who's wearing their mask like they're supposed to, but they're in the bathroom and they dropped it on the floor. And so now this mask, but they're a kid, they're just doing what they're told. Now they pick the mask up and they put it back on.
Exactly.
It's on the bathroom floor in front of the toilet, and they're just kids have a tendency to just do what they're told. And the government officials who mandate things generally either don't think things out. I've been to some of these meetings and they say, well, something kind of sounds like a good idea, so they want to mandate it.
Yeah.
Been like every day. We have just.
That's actually what I want to talk to you about next, because I'm in California and the governor is a left-leaning Democrat. And it seems like all of these leftist publications and Democratic ran states and cities are pushing this, more authoritarian rules when it comes to wearing a mask. For instance, just recently, the Nashville City Council member Sharon Hurt just proposed that not wearing a mask in public should be equivalent to murder. And she's saying that if you don't wear a mask, you should be found guilty and thrown in jail for 10 years. Wouldn't you think that is a bit extreme? Is not wearing a mask like murder?
No, because masks don't work. They don't work. We know that they don't work. And when the first the mask mandates, and it's like, okay, you have fines that are $10 or $20 for something if it's legit, like a parking violation or something. But you get a lot of cities where it's like $200, $500, $1,000. You're driving around, it's like $1,000 fine for littering. Really? What's wrong with that? There are so many people prosecuted and put in prison. New York, they do the same thing. They put somebody traveling legally on a plane. They have their firearm unloaded, checked, and they announce it. and they get prosecuted and they get sent to prison. So New York State's got so much money that they can financially afford to throw gun owners in prison. And that's another Democrat state, but as a legislator who's gotten elected and reelected as a Republican, there are states like New York where you talk to the pro-liberty crowd, and the Republicans in some of these states like New York are not that, nothing special. They can be just as authoritarian in some ways as the Democrats. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely need for a third party that champions liberty, and I'm not sure what it is yet, or even if it exists yet. But I think that we need to get on the ball and do something.
Absolutely, and that's why I appreciate representatives such as yourself that are, again, the don't tread on anyone type versus the don't tread on me type. Because I can still tread on you, but I don't want you treading on me. So the do not tread on anyone type is the ultra libertarian, which is, do unto others as long as, you don't harm me with whatever you're doing.
And so I have a bill in this session this year, House Bill 732, and it was a Civil Rights Act, and it just said, remember how Bloomberg told all these New York City cops they had to go out and target blacks and Latinos, people of color, and for these racist gun control laws and stop and frisk. And I mean, we'd had police tell us about that all the time, that they were being instructed to go out and target people of color. And I'm sure you know this better than I do, maybe you know from firsthand experience. But I had a bill that's all it did, and it dealt with overcharging and over-sentencing of people of color. Latinos on a first-time offense get 10% more prison time on the same offense, nationwide statistics. African Americans get 15% more time. So you figure somebody's accomplished a homicide, or somebody's involved with bank robbery or something, they get 10 years in prison. But if they're Latino, they get statistically, they get another year on top of that for being Latino. If they're black, they get another, year and a half for being black statistically. So you got to figure there's got to be people sitting there in prison saying, yeah, maybe they committed this crime, but they're getting this extra time, year and a half behind bars for the color of their skin and nothing else.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one-sidedness of the justice system has kind of always been present. And, with the crack cocaine epidemic, that has been proven through the war on drugs, which Joe Biden is a part of, with the 1995 Crime Bill Act, which actually made it tougher on Black people and people of color for these misdemeanor crimes. And of course, if you're in possession of a weapon, being anti-gun, et cetera. So you don't really see how these laws are benefiting we the people, especially ones that are now that they're proposing for masks. With her saying, if you're not wearing a mask, you should be put in jail and convicted of murder.
And how long is it before you have a war on mouths? They don't want to see it. You got to cover your mouth. And it's funny because at the same time they're talking about letting people just kind of like walk around naked in public or something. It's like topless something or nudity, public nudity, and it's the same group. And I'm like, okay, you're going to allow people to walk around naked, except they have to wear a mask, but they don't have to wear any.
Yeah, I don't understand some of these liberal policies. It's like they want they claim to be so progressive and, outside of the box. But yeah,
it's not even liberal. I mean, liberal in the true sense is based on the Latin word liber, or liberty, meaning respect for the liberty of the individual. And you still have a lot of people who are what they do in other countries is they'll have like a centrist party, like the Lib Dems in Britain. And they're liberal in the classical sense, that they believe in individual liberties, civil liberties, protecting your privacy, of course, ending racial profiling and so forth. But they're actually liberal in the true sense. And they use the color yellow to represent them because they favor, liberalizing markets, liberalizing trade, liberalizing gun laws, liberalizing drug laws. And
the mainstream media, the way they've kind of used these labels to pit the left against the right, and they've created I hate to say it, they've created like this mindset around that through the media. You know, if you look at CNN or ABC or whatever the case may be, they're more so promoting Democratic policies. Then if you look at Fox and I guess One America Network, whatever it's called, then they're promoting more right-wing Republican ideas. So that's how they've created this separation with the public. Is they've now pitted us against each other with this liberal conservative idea. But like you said, essentially Americans, to be an American is to be a classically in the sense of both classically liberal as well as classically conservative, right?
So, well, we don't care about the whole left-right spectrum. What we're concerned with is protecting the rights of the individual.
Right.
So actually, we agree with, let's say, the Green Party on ending the war on drugs, bringing the troops home. The Green Party is opposed to racial profiling. The Green Party favors, they're opposed to corporate welfare and corporate bailouts. So we do find some things, we do find some issues where we're in agreement with them. But at the same time, I think what's happening with the Green Party, and we have a lot of Greens leaving, and they're kind of searching around for another political party, and they found that the Green Party is becoming increasingly top down, like the Democrats, increasingly centrally controlled, increasingly Marxist, authoritarian rather than left libertarian. I think that there's tens and tens of millions of libertarian-leaning voters out there.
I believe what you said is true, though, with regards to the hierarchy taking control of these smaller parties, like the Libertarian Party, people that don't really necessarily have the best intentions for the liberty movement per se in mind, more so than it being self-serving and to taking care of their own personal agenda. So, but I want to refrain from that because it's crazy that you're actually bringing this up, because when I'm talking about this dichotomy of left, right, Republican, Democrat, or whatever the case may be, over the weekend I've been hanging out with a whole bunch of conservative-minded people, and I guess when it came to this whole mask debate or argument, I brought up how essentially, if it's my body, my choice, and you have people on that are more liberal-minded, left-leaning Democrats, whatever the case may be, supporting abortion, then they should look at it the same. So they would cringe when they hear that, because they support it on one hand because it is the same. My body, my choice. I should be able to choose. But yet at the same time, they feel like, libertarians support abortion. And I'm like, no, I'm pro, life. I'm also pro-choice. I don't want to be in charge of a woman choosing what she can and cannot do with her own body. And that's essentially what the government is doing by telling us what we can and cannot do with having to wear masks. So why is the whole my body, my choice thing, even a debate? Why is it debatable?
Because the new left is basically authoritarian. I was reading maybe I was reading it, or maybe it's a YouTube video, but it's on the Luciferian roots of the communist movement in the Soviet Union. And I think that as Americans, we want to separate politics and religion, but I'm not sure that you can, because everywhere in the world, like the socialists and communists view Christianity and people of faith and values, they view them as kind of an obstacle, because the communists, when they took over, they murdered enormous numbers of Christians, and especially clergy. But I think that so Soviet-style urban planning, Democrats have enacted it in 12 states. Soviet-style gun control, Soviet-style abortion for population control and eugenics, Soviet-style drug policy started by Lyndon Johnson, Soviet-style nationalization of land, utilities, healthcare, everything else. So abortion for them, now they're not pro-choice. Most pro-choice voters I talk to Usually they just say they kind of want to leave the first trimester open, because first trimester, a woman has had 3 cycles, you know, she's missed 3 cycles. She pretty well knows, and she can go. She has time to go in and get a test and whatnot. Most pro-choice people usually just say, well, leave, you know, for emergencies or something like that, safe, legal, and rare. But if you go to the Communist Party's website, and I send people to the Communist Party's website all the time, cpusa.org, you'll see that they're pushing abortion and all these social engineering efforts as a way to change society. They see federal, state, county, local government as a tool for re-engineering society. They want to change society. And so a lot of the population control and eugenics comes from these rich, you know, rich Democrats and rhinos. And around the world, if you look at all these socialist and communist parties, what they're pushing is population control and eugenics. And you'll see that Bill Gates and Rockefeller and all these other guys, they're George Soros, they're pushing population control and eugenics all over the world.
Right.
And so why would we be surprised if they use the abortion industry to do it here?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that, again, they are pushing these agendas through political movements, like through Black Lives Matter, which has a great message because it does focus on, again, you know, police brutality and its effect on the Black community. But the organization, the Black Lives Matter global movement, that part, the 3 young ladies, I believe, that founded the organization, they came outward as being Marxists.
Yep.
And, you know, it's been well suspected that they were a socialist group, et cetera, since their creation. But now it's definitely without a doubt. So now you have people.
And the Women's March. Every single national organizer of the Women's March, you go to their bio and it says Marxist studies and promoting or studying Marxism. Black Lives Matter, all their organizers are Marxists. And one guy was convicted of, was it child molestation or child pornography or something like that? Antifa communists, obviously they're out there waving the Soviet communist flag. And at the same time, they're out there saying, well, but you know, the Soviet Union, that wasn't real communism. Well, then why are you waving the flag of the Soviet Union? Right. It's obvious. And then when they had Chaz in Seattle, I grew up in Seattle, by the way, originally from Seattle. I used to ship out. I used to work in California. I love California. The weather there is terrific. It's not quite as good as Hawaii, which I also used to ship out of. Hawaii has like a certain limit on the heat and humidity. It never seems to get above a certain level. Dag nabbit, what was I saying? It was something really interesting. Well, I forget.
It's okay, because I do have another question that ties into what we're talking about. Because like I was saying, with this whole Marxist movement thing that they're pushing for, a lot of the people are now considering ideas about socialism, like community control over businesses. And I had this conversation over the weekend also, where I'm like, hey, if I'm a business owner and I hire you as an employee, you're not entitled to any portion of my profits. I hired you. And we agreed upon whatever amount that I'm going to pay you. So you shouldn't be able to get a cut of my business. So I want to ask you, Representative Max Abramson, do you think employees should get a cut of the business that they're working for?
Absolutely. You should absolutely get some of the share, but share of the profits. However, I think it ought to be set up by the employer or part of the employee-employer relationship. I think more and more people are looking at what's called stakeholder capitalism, which is that, they used to say, well, it's just the owners who own the company and they get to take everything, and you show up, do your job, take your paycheck, and take off. But now I think more and more people are seeing all the workers, advertisers, truckers, managers, inventors, engineers, everybody who's involved in the process. That companies are better run, and I think they become more profitable. Recent experience, at least, has shown they become more profitable if they share with everyone, even if it's only 10 or 15% of their gross profits. If they share that with the the employees and have stock buy-in programs and things like that. I think that those companies have been more successful. But again, it's got to be voluntary. It can't be the government stepping in. The government's supposed to be a referee and just say, look, here's what the contract is.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is this a voluntary exchange? And me as a business owner, if I say I want to pay you X amount of dollars to do a job and we agree upon it, then you shouldn't feel like through the means of government as a vehicle of force that you should be able to take that from me. And you're right, as far as it being a equal exchange and an agreement between the employer and employee, if they come to that agreement, then great. I mean, for instance, Starbucks, all of their employees get a percentage of, stocks or whatever the case may be, I think, if you work for the company for so long. And that's a great perk as a business, because that entices, employees to want to work for that business. So I think that's what it more so needs when it comes to free market, is letting the business owners create the incentives versus the government, right?
And this is a big deal. We're pro-market rather than pro-business. That is, sometimes you have a dispute between a worker and the company, and we insist that the courts be completely objective, or between customers and the company. We're opposed to things like corporate welfare, 115 billion in corporate welfare subsidies, corporate bailouts. I think Congress has passed 2 more sets of bailouts this year already, after the 2 Great Recession bailouts, which made the Great Recession even longer and worse. Historically, we've done better as an economy when we keep spending and taxes low, and instead of letting politicians kind of get in there and play games with your money. My opinion is we're much better off, if not going to a tax-free society completely, doing away with middle-class taxes, doing away with small business taxes, doing away with most taxes, and just getting back to a very small constitutionally limited government.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's the way to go. And like I said, it's unfortunate that a lot of our elected officials don't think like that. They don't want to reduce the size of government. If anything, they want to expand it and have more control over every aspect of our lives. So I want to be respectful of your time, Representative Abramson, because I know you do have things to do, and I do have other questions I want to ask you. So I may limit that. But I do want to ask you another question before you go, and which is, when it comes to, I guess, this whole argument of who we are as a race of people, humans, we get caught up in the separation of who does what based on stereotypes. And many of them have to do with the media and whatever the case may be, instead of hearing it out of the horse's mouth themselves. So with that said, I want to ask you, when it comes to sports, it's a big belief that, Black people play basketball, football, track and field or whatever, and then white people play sports like, golfing and tennis and, skiing and shit like that. Anyway, what is your favorite sport to play?
Soccer, because I'm the best at it. Not to toot my own horn, but back in middle school, I was so good. I went to soccer camp, and we were playing against the college level, college team players. They were teaching this soccer camp, and I was playing as well as any of them. Even though I was only, I think, 14 at the time. And if there had been college scholarships for soccer back then, I could have gotten a full ride scholarship and gotten a 4-year degree and everything. I mean, I don't know if I could have made it to the Olympics or whatnot, but I was pretty good.
All right, that's what's up. So if you are in New Hampshire, you guys, District 20, right?
Well, I'm running for re-election, but I actually have Hampton Falls, and Seabrook. So I'm now running for a slightly larger district. It's a tougher district, but you can cover more people.
Okay, well, if you're out there in those districts, be sure to challenge my man, Representative Max Abramson, to a game of soccer, because most likely he will put you to shame. So he says,
I can't right
because I want to see that shit.
now. I've injured the heel of my foot, and it's not recovering, so it's making it hard to campaign, go door to door.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I definitely hope you get sooner than better than later. So I do appreciate you being here on the Black Side of Liberty. Again, my man, Representative Max Abramson, New Hampshire House Representative. Thank you so much for being here with me, Max.
Thank you very much.
Hey, God bless you and take care until next time. Peace.
Hey, I'll see you around.
All right, you guys, that again is Representative Max Abramson, who is a House representative for District 20, and he's running for re-election for a larger district now. So be sure to check him out at maxabramson.org. Find out more about him and how you can support him, because he definitely could use it. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview with him as much as I did, enough to throw your support behind him, because he did also run for president of the United States as a libertarian, and I believe a few other parties like the Reform Party here in 2020. And who knows, in the future, you may get the opportunity to see Max Abramson again as a candidate for president of the United States, but he needs support from people like you. So please, like I said, definitely be sure to check him out right here at maxabramson.org. All right. And to all of you out there that are watching, I appreciate you guys for chiming in. Man, Dragonfire News, South Carolina, gave me a super chat right there, $2. Says, please read my last message and thank you, everyone. All right, thank you so much, Dragonfire, for the super chat. I appreciate that so much. Every little bit helps. In the future, do not do that. Just so you guys know, the super chats are lovely, but for us content providers here on YouTube, we actually get screwed. Those super chats, they take 30% of that, and then they take 30 days to release the funds. So no matter how much it is, they take a cut. And, I'm not one of those, YouTube stars where I have millions of subscribers. And yes, I do have viral videos, but not all of these go viral, which is why I don't make millions of dollars making these videos, unlike other YouTube stars. And I'm not trying to be. I just, like I said, am documenting this journey for freedom as a revolutionary, so all of you out there can know what you are fighting for, and of course join me in that cause. So Dragonfire did give me that super chat so I could read the last message, which is, hey Governor, I have diminished lung capacity and can't wear a mask. I've been refused employment because of it, saying it's not being a problem. If hired, because masks become part of PPE, need advice. Yeah, see, and that's the slippery slope that I'm saying when it comes to legalities and us being forced to wear this mask. If your employer is requiring it, you pretty much don't have any legal footing right now. You could sue them, but how long is that shit going to take? You know what I'm saying? So they have the power over you, and that's how they're going to exercise their control over our choices. Because if we want to provide for ourselves, we want to be able to put food on our tables, keep a roof over our head, and, take care of ourselves and our families, then we, get put in that place where we feel like we got to do anything and everything to make that happen, including being forced to compromise our own health by wearing these damn masks or whatever the case may be. So it's unfortunate that you do have to deal with that situation. I believe if you do have a true medical condition, it's unfortunate that a lot of these people, whether it be your employer or a business, if you go in there just as a consumer, aren't allowing these medical exemptions. There's even been people denied travel off of flights and, buses and trains or whatever the case may be, because they refuse to wear a mask and are saying that they have a medical exemption, a medical condition, of course, and you don't have to prove that. You should just be able to say so, and they respect that fact. But that's the thing, is it's being disputed because they're making it political, And if they continue to do so, you will be forced to wear that mask against your will. You do not live in a free country right now. We are being taken over slowly and surely by people that are supporting totalitarianism and draconian measures to, again, make examples out of you and me of why we should comply or die. That's what it's coming down to right here, right now. So I appreciate you for asking me that question. I wish I could have passed that on to Representative Max Abramson, but I hope that answered your question to some degree. Chris asked me, why is the flag upside down? Okay, look, I got to tell you guys every damn time, why the fuck is my flag upside down, Chris? You don't have Google at your hands? Google that shit. An upside down flag symbolizes your nation being in distress or a violation, an extreme violation of personal property. Your body is your property, period. Okay? I know you see a black man and you don't see him flying the flag like you think he should be flying it, and he's showing disrespect to it. That is not what this is about. Okay? Any military personnel, any person that know a damn thing about the flag in general would be able to tell you what this would symbolize. So please, Chris, anyone else out there like Chris, do your homework, find out, do your due diligence, because this whole flag shit got everybody all sensitive about what you do with a fucking flag. This flag don't represent the people of America. We the people represent the people of America, okay? So no matter what happens to this flag, what happens to you and me is what all that matters to the foundation of this country. And right now we're being bent to be subordinates and be subjected to the will and the authority of people we hire with our fucking tax dollars and pay their salaries. Why? Would you ever run a company and then do what your employees tell you to do? Huh? No. Okay? Right now, we are the ones running the company, and our employees, they aren't listening to us. So we need to go in there and let them know who's boss. We are the boss. We the people. All of us. And your government officials, they work for you. Never forget that. And if you don't want to recall them like we're attempting to do out here in California and get rid of their asses, just go in there and physically remove them. If they don't want to resign and do it peacefully, then I'm telling you, people, it's going to come down to the point where you're going to be forced to do so by any means necessary. So do you want to be that rock in a hard place? Or do you want to actually take some control over the situation and do so peacefully and civilly? That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to avoid, is us getting to that point where we must use the means of control by our own hands in order to get some freedom here in this country. So anyways, please, like I said, Chris, do your homework. Joshua Flynn says you got a Representative Max. Please check out Max Abramson as well as Joshua Flynn. My man right here is running as a representative out there in Chicago, Illinois. So please Google Joshua Flynn, Chicago, Illinois House Representative. Please check him out. And Dragonfire says, freedom, peace, love, happiness to all later. I appreciate you for watching, Dragonfire, as well as being here, and all of you as well. James Madison says, what race is Max Abramson running for now? I believe he's running for the district that he's in. So if you want, like I said, check out his website, maxabramson.org, to find out more about him and how you can support him. Anthony in the house says, let's go. I appreciate you for chiming in. He ready for the revolution. Are you? All right. But yes, I appreciate you all for all of the comments. Anthony, James Madison, Dragonfire, Joshua Flynn, representative in the house, Chris, CJ, Josh, all of you people, as well as Dragonfire with the super chat. I truly do appreciate the contribution. And speaking of, if you would like to contribute and support what I'm doing, please head on over to my crowd pack. I am running for governor of California. So head over to crowdpack.com. As you can see, I have formed an exploratory committee and am accepting pledge donations, which means I won't collect and start spending that shit until I actually declare that I'm going to be running for office. So I would like to get to that point sooner than later. And what I would need to do so is hit my fundraising goal of $10,000. So CrowdPack is a crowdfunding website for candidates. Head over to my website or my CrowdPack right here, crowdpack.com/C/Wildstar4Gov. Be sure to make a contribution today. I got a few levels here. If you shoot me over $25, you a shooting star. I truly do appreciate that because that's going to help me get a few things going, like some bumper stickers and boosts and shit like that on Facebook. $100 truly helps. That's just that, like, quadrupled, of course. Then I got the $500 Wild Stars up in the house in my Supernovas for $1,000. I got one Supernova donation right here. I cannot believe it. It's definitely truly shocking because that lets me know that there are people out there that's willing to contribute as little or as much as they can to make sure that we, the people of California, are able to bring back liberty, including my anonymous donator who shot me over $1. Like I said, every little bit helps. So please send over what you can to help us get rid of this tyrant, the current governor of California. And if you also want to help with that effort, definitely head over to recallgavin2020.com. That's recallgavin2020.com. We, the people of California, are petitioning to recall our governor. This is the third time, people. The first two times failed because we did not meet the signature requirement. This is the third time, and we are doing everything we can to get all the signatures that we need, which is about 3 million signatures by November 27th. So help us spread the word by, again, getting out this video, of course, and letting people know about the recall right here, recallgavin2020.com. You can print out the petition, sign that petition, and circulate it. Please be sure to be aware of that. If you print out a petition for 10 people, it has to be on 11 by 17. If you print out the petition for 5 people, that can be on a regular size paper. So again, 10 people, 11 by 17. That's a very specific thing, and it has caused to a rejection of signatures recently, so we don't want that to happen again. So please read all of the instructions, people, before you go collecting signatures and shit. That way you know what the fuck you're doing. All right? But yeah, head over to the website, recallgavin2020.com. Find out how you can circulate this petition and help us get rid of this tyrant. And we, the people of California, have actually started to combine our efforts, whether it be on the right or the left, Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal. We Have Rights needs you. So please definitely join us. Head over to wehaverights.com and get involved with our organization. We are fighting to restore the constitutional rights of we, the people of California, and hold our elected officials accountable. So we are doing so by getting involved in this recall effort to get Gavin Newsom out of office. So please head over to wehaverights.com. Right now, we've been able to mobilize hundreds of thousands of people throughout the state of California to reopen the state right now. And just this past weekend, we were able to do so in Ventura, California, where we got about 1,000 people out there to protest and get involved in this recall effort and bring awareness to the recall. So please, we need you to get involved. All you people contacting me saying, what can I do? This is what you can do. Get up off of your ass, get involved, head over to the website. If you don't want to get involved as a volunteer, you can donate right here. Click on donate and give us some money. We need it. We're not BLM. We're not a Marxist group. We're not backed by millionaires like George Soros. So please contribute to We Have Rights. Help us build our grassroots, nonprofit, nonpartisan organization to help rebuild and restore the constitutional rights of every Californian here in this great state. So please, wherever you are, and I don't care where you are in the world, if you want to help the people of California, please, this is your opportunity, because we need to come together wherever we are to unite to fight for freedom. All right. So please head over to wehaverights.com and my wife's show, Crystal's Healing Arts. I want to show you guys, because unfortunately she will not be having her Crystal Room talk show tomorrow, where she provides psychic readings to people of the public for free. So you have to come back next Wednesday. She is traveling right now, so come back next week, Wednesday, August 12th, and she'll be right here on the Governor Wildstar channel if you're watching on YouTube. And of course, head over to her Crystal Healing Arts page on Facebook, subscribe so you can catch those videos live, or of course, head on over to her website, crystalshealingarts.com, to connect with her if you want to get a reading for her now. Definitely, like I said, of course, please be sure to come back next Thursday. This Thursday. Not next Thursday. That's next Wednesday for Lady Wildstar. But this Thursday, please come back to the Black Side of Liberty. I will be talking to Ashley Shade, who is a LGBTQ activist and the chairperson of the Outright Libertarians. So please come on back this Thursday, where we will be talking to chairperson of Outright Libertarians, Ashley Shade, and find out more about her LGBTQ activism, as well as being a libertarian and freedom fighter. So I appreciate all of you that are watching right now. And like I said, come on back on Thursday and we'll talk more then. All right. Till next time, long live liberty. I'm about this bitch. Peace.